Hey y'all, and welcome back to my channel. On today's video, I want to show you how you can take charms and pendants and turn them into one-of-a-kind earrings. You can use jewelry that you already have, or you can purchase charms and pendants in the jewelry department at craft stores. There's all different kinds that you can use, and sometimes you can even find good deals on clearance ones. You can also use little pins to make jewelry or even buttons. You'll need a pair of needle nose pliers. I found these in the jewelry department. You can also use round tip pliers, but I prefer the needle nose. And then if you're using like the buttons or the pins, you'll need a pair of wire cutters. You'll also need the fish hook earring top to go in your ears. They come in a variety of different metals, so you're going to want to match the metal of the charm or pendant that you are using. If you do have sensitive ears, you can also get these in 14 karat gold and sterling silver. But you can get silver, gold, black, antique bronze, pretty much any kind of metal. And I would also recommend getting these little plastic stoppers. They go on the back of the fish hook earring piece to keep it from falling out of your ear. You definitely don't need as many supplies as I have here, but I've been collecting for years, so I have probably more than I'll ever need. So when it comes to starting, you'll need to select the ones that you're going to use. If they're still on a package, obviously take them off or out of the package. And then we are going to decide if they hang straight. So when the earring fish hook goes into your ear, you want the charm or the pendant to face forward. And sometimes, because of the way the little eye is at the top, or the little ring is at the top, you may have to add another little ring in between the charm and the pendant and the fish hook earring post in order for it to hang correctly. To do this, you would obviously get the same color metal, so everything matches, and you just insert your little needle nose pliers into the ring, and you want to open them up just enough to put your charm or pendant in and the earring clasp. You don't want to open them all the way up. Once you've inserted both of those, then you gently take your pliers and push the two ends together. If you do over close so that the ends overlap, just make sure they're nice and flat. But by doing this, you change the direction that the charm or the pendant is. Now on this one, it was actually correct to begin with. So by adding the ring, I've actually made the pendant hang to the side of the ear, which is incorrect. Just remember that you want whatever jewelry piece you're using to be seen when somebody is facing forward. Now for this, if you're just going to use the earring fish hook clasp, you could actually open the little ring, the loop at the bottom, just ever so slightly, and insert the pendant or the charm right in. It's as easy as that. Then take your little pliers and close it back up, and you have your earring. Super easy, less than a minute, no major skills. Put your little plastic or rubber stopper on the back, and you're done. You've got a beautiful one-of-a-kind earring to match your style and your wardrobe. Let's move on to these little earrings that have the pin back. Now it's really popular right now to do two different styles of earrings that kind of go together, one in each ear. For these, you will need the flat back earring, and they come in different sizes, just depending on the size of the item that you're using. I'm going to be using the smaller size. I also like to use this GS Hypo Cement. You can get it usually in the jewelry department. It's got a very, very fine tip and it's very strong, but you can use any kind of a very strong permanent glue. So the first thing you want to do is remove the pin back, and then kind of just, you want to position, because you still want that, that earring part that goes through the hole in your ear. You're going to use your wire cutters and clip off the post of the pin as close to the base as possible. Now, usually it's a little bit rough, so you can take a file or some sandpaper and file that down. I would recommend using a metal file, but all I had on hand at the moment was just a regular nail file, which works. But just file it down pretty flat as you can get it, and at least take the roughness off. This way, if that part does touch your ear or anything, it won't be sharp. Then, depending on how the back looks. Now on this one, it was a little concave in the back. It wasn't just flat. So you may have to move your little earring backing around, but you don't want the earring backing to show from the front. So you may need to move it down a little bit so that when you glue it on, it doesn't show. So for this one, I had to put it almost in the center of the earring. So once you've selected the right size, you will simply glue the earring back onto your piece. And your needle nose pliers also come in handy when trying to open glue. But you'll notice on this cement here, it has a very, very tiny, almost like a insulin needle type point. So it allows just a tad bit of glue to come out and get in the very small spots. Anytime you're going to use a glue like this, I also recommend you can use E6000, any kind of a nice permanent clear glue. You only need a little bit, but definitely let your earrings dry for 24 hours before wearing them, just to make sure that the glue sets. So I'm just going to dab a little bit of glue on the back, and then with the wrong side of my charm or pendant or button, whatever you're using, facing up, I will just glue the base of the earring onto where it needs to go, and then just let it dry. You can keep the little stopper on the back if you choose. I just took mine off so that it would be easier to hold on to, but you can definitely keep the little stopper on. You would do the same thing for the other side. Clip it off at the base, file it down, and then add your earring backs. And these earring backs do come in different metals as well. You can get silver, gold, whatever, and just you can match it, but you're really not going to see them because the earring part covers it. So it's not as important to find a matching metal. If you're going to use a button with a shank, which is the buttons that do not have holes in the front, they have a little loop on the back, the process would be exactly the same. You would clip off the shank part and then glue your earring pieces onto the back. If you want to do clip-on earrings, you can do this same method with clip-on posts. So here I've already done a few. So here, we're moving on to this one, which will take a ring. On this one, it's going to take a ring simply because that top loop on the little pendant part is too thick to fit into the little eye on the fishhook earrings. So I'm gonna use a little ring there to put it on. That way it can close. But these particular little pendants here really don't have a front and a back per se. They kind of look the same all the way around. So it's not as important. But this is something you can do if you find that you have a really big hook or loop at the very top of your pendant or charm that doesn't fit into the little eye part of the fishhook earring. If you want your pendant and charm to be longer, to hang down farther from your earring, you can always use the same method and put several rings together to form sort of like a chain, and that will drop the length of your earring. So this is just a fun, simple way to really elevate your wardrobe, make yourself one-of-a-kind earrings. Maybe you have some heirloom jewelry or costume jewelry that's broken laying around the house. Or, hey, if you can't find a pair of ready-made earrings that really match the outfit that you're going for, take a look and see if you can find some charms or some pendants in the craft jewelry section of a craft store that might work. It's also pretty inexpensive too if you can catch sales and clearance. You can definitely make earrings for less than $5. But it's a great way to let your personality shine through. If you like coffee, use coffee earrings, or like these here I found for $2.49, so it's pretty cheap for a pair of earrings. All kinds, all shapes. The world is at your feet to create all kinds of stuff, and they look so neat and so elegant, and nobody would ever know that you actually made them yourself.